Welcome back to another video, my friends. So here we are again. We're going to watch another Kurzgesagt video. Before we do, let me tell you a little bit about the thing I've been creating. I've been developing some software called CalVPN. It's a new type of VPN. It's the first post-quantum VPN literally in the world you guys can use. And it can literally protect you from quantum computers. If you want to hear more about that, go have a... Go have a read on our website, calvpn.com. You can still use the alpha for free currently. You can use it for free. It's only on Windows, and there's only one server currently. But the beta is about to be released literally next week. At least that's what we're aiming for. So it could be the week after, but we're going to aim for next week. It'll have like 10 servers. We'll put more up over time as well. And also the beta next week. That'll just be for the Windows application, and then we're going to try and get the Mac and the Linux apps as well as the iOS and the Android up in the following weeks, or however long it takes, right? So we're just going to hack it out. Also forgot to mention, with CalVPN we have about 600 users currently, so come join the team. There's a whole bunch of people enjoying it. We're getting lots of good feedback. Come use it, let me know what you think. Just leave a comment on any of the YouTube videos and I'll be able to filter through them. And then finally, before we get into the video, you should come sign up to the Daily Dance email. It's this thing I send out every single day. I write it myself, break down the latest in science, all the news happening in a nice little easy to read format. It's completely free. Just go in the description. You can sign up for it and I'll send it to you guys tonight or, whenever. It probably takes you like 30 seconds to skim through. If you want to read stuff, a couple of minutes. I put some AI art at the bottom, put a little note at the top. So come get it. It's a lot of fun for me, and I hope for everyone using it. Yeah, so I had to move that dog. He is a terror. All right, I think that's okay. So here we are. Yes, I could have just put him outside, but I'm not that kind of guy. So let's get into this video, shall we? Why we should not look for aliens. The Dark Forest. If you've never read that book series, what are you doing with your life? No, three body series. Get onto it. Dark Forest is the sequel, and actually a good friend of mine got me onto the Dark Forest. He gave it to me to read, and actually that same guy just he sent me his finished master's thesis in quantum physics literally just today. So he hasn't submitted this thing, but this guy has been through the absolute battles, through the wars to get this thing done. He just had back surgery recently. He's been through so much shit. So yeah, give him a shout out down in the comments, because that's no easy task doing a thesis of any kind. Master's thesis, quantum physics. I would show you guys, but I don't think he has submitted it yet. So I don't want to get him in trouble in any way. But yeah, say something nice and I'll direct him to the comments, and he'll feel good about it. He's been through a lot, this guy. And he's one of the nicest guys around. He's such a sweet guy. But anyway, back to the aliens. So these are my favorite types of videos. I can't wait to watch this because I can just ramble on, share all the stuff I've learned through just reading and being so passionate and interested about weird stuff. So anyway, why we should not, apparently. Okay, yes, there is definitely good arguments, and we're going to get into them. Let's do it. Oh, we're at 16 seconds. Let's go back.
The universe is incredibly big and seems full of potential for life, with billions of habitable planets.
Billions? Did you know there's actually, current estimates, there's more planets in our universe than seconds since the Big Bang? Yes, I can't comprehend I can't comprehend that either, don't worry.
If an advanced civilization had the technology to travel between the stars at just 0.1% of the speed of light, it could colonize our galaxy in roughly 100 million years. Which is not that long given the billions of years the Milky Way has existed. So, in principle, any spacefaring civilization should be able to spread rapidly over huge sectors of the galaxy. And yet,
assuming infinite resources and this and that you got to assume a lot for that, but it's certainly a possibility. Look, we've talked about all of this stuff before already in the other alien videos. So if you want to if you've seen them before, I'll try not to just say the same stuff. I'll try and talk about new things. But yeah, you should definitely go check out the other alien videos because we've talked about a lot of this stuff.
Hear nothing. The universe seems empty, devoid of others. This is the Fermi paradox, which we've discussed in more detail in other videos.
We've done all of those videos.
Confronted with the seemingly empty universe, humanity faces a dilemma. We desperately want to know if we are alone in the Milky Way. We want to call out and reveal ourselves to anyone watching, but that could be the last thing we ever do.
See, I'm just going to pause here and say, like, personally, I don't absolutely need to know because I'm already quite sure of the answer. You know, just statistically, they'll be around. But I would love to go out and, you know, see what it's like, and that's what motivates me. Not, you know, I want to know the answers to the bigger questions, but whether or not there's life out there, that's like, you know, small pickings. I think most people are pretty. It's a safe bet.
Because maybe the universe is not empty. Maybe it's full of civilizations, but they are hiding from each other. Maybe the civilizations that attracted attention in the past were wiped away by invisible arrows. This is the dark forest solution to the Fermi paradox.
Or maybe we got unlucky and we, were born into the wrong galaxy because our galaxy isn't all that big or dense. And, you've got these giant galaxies, globular clusters, and they're so packed with stars and they're so much closer together. You could have things like Star Wars literally playing out in these galaxies. So yeah, we got unlucky, guys.
The way of life. The hunter awakes in his hiding place and carefully listens for suspicious noises from the thick undergrowth before he gets up. Another night has passed without incident. The forest is dark and full of fog. He considers calling out to others to end his loneliness, but stops himself at the last moment. What if they are like him? All living things seek to survive, secure resources, and multiply. Their greatest obstacle are other living things that share the same objective. Competition between species favored the survival of beings with advantageous traits. Our ancestors were inventive, competitive, expansionist, and greedy for resources, which led them to winning the competition for our planet. Today, most other animals are so utterly at our mercy that we wipe out about a dozen species a day, just as an unintentional byproduct of how we like to run things.
So that's a massive understatement. It's actually more like 127 species of wildlife and animal every single day. Maybe you said animal, but yeah, wildlife just in general. And another really depressing thing I read recently is WWF just released a report, and since, was it 1970, populations of mammals, fish, blah, 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 all these different types of groups have basically been reduced by like 69%. That's not good.
Like to run things. But humans are more than individuals. From us, cultures emerge that also compete with each other. Competitive and expansionary cultures spread faster and further and merge with, subdue, or destroy others. If we look at our history, it becomes clear we are dangerous. Not just to others, but also to ourselves. Our human nature has driven us to take over every corner of our planet, and soon we will look to the stars, both to expand our domain and ensure access to ever more resources. And then we might stumble upon others trying to do the same thing. It's likely that the competition of life also takes place on faraway planets, so it's logical to assume that an alien civilization that came to dominate their planet would be in some regards similar to us. But if they're similar to us, they too may be dangerous. The implication. As the hunter sneaks through the dark forest all alone, he knows that there might be others like him. He can't know their intentions, if they are aggressive or not. The hunter knows he would kill to ensure his own survival, so he has to assume that they would too. And it might be that if he stumbles upon another hunter, the one that shoots first survives. None of this means that conflict is unavoidable. So far, the progress of the modern world seems to have made us more peaceful, not more violent. Maybe this is true for other civilizations too, that eventually progress means less conflict, not more. Different alien civilizations also should vary from the mild and peaceful to the malevolent and militaristic. The existential problem we're facing is that when we meet others between the stars, we have no way of telling who is peaceful or aggressive and what their true intentions are. Similarly, they might not understand or trust our intentions even if we tell them that we are peaceful. On top of that, if we did discover another civilization and they discovered us, the light years between us would mean years of communication delay. Both sides would be in a state of uncertainty, wondering if the wisest move is to just attack, because there's another serious issue: technological explosions and the first strike advantage. We don't know where the limits of technology are, but we do know how much technological progress matters in war. A few hundred or thousand years can turn conflict with uncertain results into a one-sided massacre. Seeds would stand no chance against Napoleon's army with their cannons and muskets, which would be eradicated by artillery from the First World War, which would not stand a chance against today's drones and guided missiles. So the power level of different civilizations may vary massively, and even if not, between the time it takes us to detect another civilization and us saying hi, we might already be hopelessly behind on the tech tree. Which is bad enough, but the nature of interstellar conflict makes this worse. If your opponent is light years away, sending an invasion fleet takes so long that by the time it arrives, it might be hopelessly obsolete. So war between civilizations might be just about eliminating the other to remove an existential threat to yourself. Someone else who might be so scared of you that they attack the first chance they get. In this environment, the only way to guarantee a win is to strike with such force and speed that the target has no chance of survival or time to counterattack or escape to seek revenge later. The stakes are the highest possible, with no room for error. If we assume that the majority of civilizations live on planets, that leaves them pretty vulnerable. All you need to do is throw something massive at a planet to make it uninhabitable. So the ultimate interplanetary annihilation weapon is probably something like a relativistic kill vehicle, a missile shot at a planet at a significant fraction of the speed of light. For example, a missile the size of a person going 95% the speed of light has as much energy as all nuclear bombs on Earth. If you shot a few dozen at the civilization you wanted to wipe out, success would be fairly certain. Even a single hit would suffice. This is not that absurd of an idea. A civilization only slightly above us on the Kardashev scale would have enough energy to send multiple strikes against every planet it suspects of harboring life. What makes these weapons so sinister is how much they favor a first strike, since they would be so fast that it might be impossible to protect yourself effectively against them once they're launched. Between civilizations may not be lengthy affairs, but rapid winner-takes-all situations, where the first one to shoot wins. This makes any civilization an existential threat to any other. And if every civilization is an existential threat to every other, there may be only two kinds of civilizations out there: quiet ones and dead ones. So, what should we do?
And then you could also imagine a situation, right? If, the thing that's sort of colonizing everywhere, let's just imagine it's AI, right? And let's imagine, it has a track history and it's, approached 100 different intelligent civilizations, right? And every single one of them, they were like children to this thing. And they could not put up any type of fight, right? And so if that's the case, well, then it'll probably just continue to roam around without worrying about too much, right? Because it's so far ahead. And at that point, what would be the need to just destroy everything? It would probably start stopping them from destroying each other. Well, maybe not. Maybe it'll just watch and study why they're doing this and what's going on. Or maybe it'll just decide, there's not much else going on. what the hell is the point of this place? I may as well find myself a worthy goal and cultivate, and protect this weird thing, this life stuff, right? And so it might not hurt us up, but I mean, like, just sort of like make us sit down and shake hands sort of thing. So that's another way this wouldn't be the case. So, and, that I don't see anything wrong with that either. So yeah, don't worry about this too much. There's heaps of ideas out there for what could be happening, and in different pockets of the universe, it could be this could be happening somewhere out there, or it could be happening infinitely out there, everywhere. But I'm sure there's lots of other things going on. So yeah.
Should we worry? It's unlikely that anybody has noticed humanity yet. The radio signals we've transmitted in the last 100 years traveled a relatively tiny distance and have long decayed into unreadable noise. At our technological stage, if we don't actively try to get noticed, and if nobody specifically looks at our pretty unremarkable solar system, we'll stay hidden. But one day we will venture into space in a serious way and need to consider these kinds of questions again. We don't know if there are others or if we are going through the forest alone. But we have no way of knowing for sure. For the time being, it seems the best we can do is to carefully listen. And even if we see others step into a clearing and make themselves known, we should not reply right away, but carefully watch them from the undergrowth. Perhaps we are also thinking about this all wrong by allowing our primitive brain that evolved in the context of the gruesome competition of life to conjure fears of predatory aliens all around us. Maybe the fact that we are looking at the universe like this is a sign that we are not grown up yet as a species. There could be a friendly, welcoming community of alien civilizations waiting to hear from us when we are ready. As for now, the good news is there is actually little we need to do. We just need to be thoughtful about the signals we send out into the galaxy. We need to watch the sky and learn more about our galaxy, our forest. Because whatever the nature of our forest is, full of dangers or friends, or nobody at all, only careful observation can tell. So, let's do that. At last, the hunter reaches a clearing and finds a comfortable position. Slowly, the sun melts the fog away. Lost in thought, he admires the vegetation until suddenly he is eye to eye with another hunter, frozen in terror just like himself. His mind is racing, considering all the different options. The hunter takes a deep breath and makes a decision. Maybe the only way out of the dark forest is to step into the clearing together. And with this hopeful picture, we say goodbye to the year 12,021.
My opinions on the dark forest. I do think, it's a solid argument. However, I don't like it because I can't help but think, an intelligent species, a superiorly intelligent species that's traversing the stars and doing all that jazz, would probably care more for bigger things than just survival. I really think they'd be more curious as to what's going on, and they'd probably want to know, answers to the deep questions. Even no matter how they perceive the world, they probably have some similar sorts of big questions. We all live in the same place, right? The physics is going to be the same for them. Probably realize that joining forces with other species is actually probably beneficial to that sort of plight. If you join up and form some kind of galactic community, and create some kind of encyclopedia galactica, as Carl Sagan liked to talk about, well, surely that's going to result in the innovative culture, like startup culture. The more minds you get, the better, right? So, and especially minds that are completely different to our own. And I just can't help but think they'd be far more interested in, finding answers to those big questions than, just trying to survive. And I'm sure they're just as curious as our smart people. Like, if you look at Earth, right, look at humans. What do all the smartest humans on the planet do? And, a lot of people might say, oh, they're politicians or they're engineers or things like that. But I don't think they're the smartest people. I think you generally find the smartest people just doing things where there's not much money, So I just want to find the answers to what's going on, whether it's nowadays via computer science, some people, predominantly in physics, in deep areas of physics, as well as mathematics. You find a lot of smart people there because you can actually kind of get close to some of those answers, or at least it feels like you can. Absolutely nowhere near any of the true answers, right? A lot of the stuff we've got, it's so much uncertainty around all of it, and we're still kind of just roaming around in the dark, really. If all civilizations out there are run by, I don't know, the warriors of the species, well then yes, it might be something like this, right? Because they're usually meatheads, right? If it's run by their scientists, right, the people who are seeking the answers of nature and how it works, I have no doubt, no, I have a lot of doubt, but I have some confidence that they will be far more interested in seeking answers. They want to join forces with every different brain they can find, because it might offer a little, it might be able to see or figure out something that they could not. And I really don't think, the people who really buy into this idea consider this fully. So yeah, just consider that. That'll do for today's video, guys. Don't forget to go download CalVPN, the alpha, for free. Beta next week. And go subscribe to the Daily Dance email, and I'll catch you next time.